If you ask a designer why they post their portfolio on Behance, most will say to find clients. Yet it's surprising that most never land a single project from the platform. Even getting badges or being featured in curated collections doesn't guarantee success. So if Behance isn't delivering results, how does it manage to brain hack designers into staying hooked? There are 3 brain hacks that have made Behance the main platform for designers today. And let's be honest, many designers who've used Behance feel like avoiding it. Why? Because you can't just take your work and upload it there. You need to know the guidelines and prepare images in exactly the right sizes. You can't just drop in an animation. You have to set it up through Vimeo. Even after figuring all that out, you're still limited in how you can express yourself. Behance also has its own case study culture, so if you've shown your work somewhere else, you'll probably have to rebuild it from scratch to fit Behance's structure. And all that for what? Probably for nothing. I know some of you might disagree. There are designers who do get clients on Behance. Maybe you're one of them. But before you start throwing virtual tomatoes in comments, let's take a step back and think about this. Yes, I haven't achieved anything on Behance myself. I don't even have badges. But my point isn't just based on my own experience. I've talked to designers. I teach design at an art college, and some of my students do get recognized on Behance. But the fact is, most designers, even really talented ones, don't get much out of it. That's just reality. And honestly, I think it's a good thing that you're not finding clients on Behance. Why is this good? Well, let's dive into the 3 brain hacks that explain why your projects on Behance have few views and why that's actually beneficial. To understand this, let's look at real life. In an ideal world, better design would get more attention. That's fair. But fairness is just an idea. It doesn't always happen in reality. So how does it work in real life? Besides having a good design, you also need a way to tell people that the design is good. Often, that way is your reputation, which you've built over years. That's why people follow you, if they follow you. It's the same on Behance. Everything is set up so that well-known and advanced profiles get more attention, both through algorithms and curators, and then from users. Once you have success, it tends to continue. The rich get richer. This is brain hack number 1. Success breeds success. This might sound bad, until you have badges and awards. Once you do, it feels pretty great. This imbalance shows a simple logic. By raising the entry threshold, the value of the reward increases. By going through this process and achieving results, you're more likely to gain more than just a one-time spike in activity. You'll gain long-lasting potential. First, you work for your portfolio, then your portfolio works for you. Work hard, play hard. This is closer to real life than ideas about fairness. This mechanism is quite unique, and it's the first brain hack that makes Behance the main platform for designers today. And this unique mechanism is not an algorithm, and this is the point. So let's talk about algorithms, or rather the lack of them. This is the second brain hack. Other platforms do things differently. For example, Dribbble gives you a welcome shot that's shown to many people. Based on their reactions, certain works are pushed to the top of the daily feed. As a viewer, you have 2 feeds, popular and following, which aren't particularly connected. Popular is determined by social algorithms. This leads to problems that have made Dribbble what it is today. Not so helpful for finding inspiration or for designers publishing their work. So what happens when there's no algorithmic curation based on likes and clicks? Such a system reduces the pressure on designers to follow trends just for algorithmic success. Instead, they can focus on creating deeper, more original projects. This fosters not just hype works, but a cultural evolution where new concepts, original ideas, and unconventional approaches become the main criteria for success. Abandoning the strict algorithmic approach also creates a fairer and more inclusive environment. Unlike platforms where algorithms encourage popularity loops, manual curation enhances creative freedom and promotes diversity. This approach supports the collective growth of designers, fostering a sense of community rather than a race for likes and short-term success. This is beneficial both for the designers and for those who view their work. And this is the big advantage of Behance. The absence of algorithmic control is the second brain hack. The focus shifts from instant popularity to the long-term value of creativity, which is further enhanced by the increased value of recognition. This creates an ecosystem where unique and innovative ideas have a chance to be noticed, even if they don't immediately gain many likes. That's why designers and viewers love Behance. It feels like the designs are created with attention to the craft, with creativity. But here's a question. Is it really good that designers create for other designers and not for clients? This question leads us to the third brain hack, design for designers. When you design an interface for a client, one of the key values is familiar, intuitive patterns. Everything needs to be user-friendly. However, when showcasing that same work on Behance, you need the opposite. You have to break templates, search for unusual creative solutions. Even a boring project needs to be presented in a way that engages designers and art lovers in the design community. It's these kinds of projects where there are breaks in convention and dynamic storytelling that attract the attention of curators. These are the ones that make it into thematic collections, earn badges, and get the most attention from users. Notice on Dribbble, the projects that get the most attention are those that are most approved by the masses. As a result, trendy visuals, often with little regard for function, take the top spots. Trends reinforce themselves or come from outside and circulate within Dribbble. On Behance, however, a comprehensive approach to the work is valued, as well as the description of stages and designer qualifications. Designers who have already achieved something are appreciated, and the case presentation encourages creativity and the search for unusual solutions. The entry threshold is much higher, many times higher. But the result is that you find many creative, important works. It's much harder to achieve this level. There are technical hurdles we've mentioned, as well as cultural ones. You need to engage in creativity to get noticed. This might sound like obstacles, but they actually enhance the platform's value. Behance places high value on earning recognition, and it encourages creativity in design. Design as a field tends to lean more toward marketing and engineering over time. But platforms like Behance play a crucial role in maintaining balance, preserving the creative essence in design. And this is very important. The best designers I know are creative people who draw inspiration from various forms of art, architecture, music, photography, cinema. Designers are often a bit snobbish, considering themselves the bohemian elite. While there are downsides to this attitude, we all know someone who's a little too into their own genius. There are also protective mechanisms within it that make our profession better and more interesting. It safeguards the field by raising the entry threshold, not through mandatory long education, but by filtering those who are not ready to embrace the creative side into marketing or communication design. When it comes to assembling a portfolio, it's clear to me as an employer, Behance is the most visually clear and convenient platform for designers. Regardless of the number of followers or social approval, it's simply a universal service and format for showcasing cases. And yes, as a platform for attracting clients, Behance involves a lot of risks, a lot of work, and no guarantees. Statistically, it's unlikely to work for you. But isn't that how the real world works? Unless you're into get-rich-quick schemes, spoiler, they don't work, most people don't succeed in freelance after the first, second, or even third try. It takes many attempts to build a client base. And how many freelancers go on to open studios? Less than 1%. And how many studios shut down before gaining momentum? About 90%. That's reality. The chances of success in anything are minimal, and to increase them, you need to try over and over again. But this video isn't about motivation for business, it's about design. So if you're looking for references and inspiration, then Behance is the place to go. Or you can look at real websites and applications that are actively being used. But what you shouldn't do, what can harm your creativity and is generally harmful and toxic for designers, is Dribbble. This is something I, as an instructor and employer, definitely ask my students and designers at my agency to avoid. It's literally destructive but we'll talk about this important feature in more detail, and if you're interested, we've conducted surveys and shared our experience in a detailed analysis in a separate video.